Ordinarily, we build cycle carts and mini bikes on this channel. Today, we're going to do something different. We're going to build a Pinewood Derby. So my kid is in Webelos. This is last year in Webelos, and he's building his Pinewood Derby. He decided to build his to look like his mono car, or mono wasp rather, which is back there. If you haven't seen that, I've got some pictures of it and stuff on the site, on the Cyclekart club, and also on our Facebook page. There's a bunch of pictures of it. But he's got it pretty well done. He's got a sharp nose on it. I think he's going to round these off a little bit more. This is just a rough cut of his. So in talking to the people over there at Webelos and the Cub Scouts, they said, hey, dads can play. And I said, heck yeah, let's play. So I think I'm going to try to build a Viscount Vincent Pinewood Derby. This is going to be fun. So in getting ready to do this, I got in the attic and dug out the Pinewood Derbys I built when I was in Cub Scouts. So this is one of my little bow tail racer. This is kind of my a little Batmobile cart, Pinewood Derby. And this is my brother's. I guess it's kind of a Batmobile shape too, or racy. And there's a blue one he built. I had these in my attic. I guess he's been looking for them for 6 years. I sent him a picture of them, and he goes, oh my gosh, I've been looking for those. So I'll get those back to him in the next couple of days. So anyway, who knew I was going to be building Grand Prix race cars even when I was in Cub Scouts? And here you go. So that's the oldies, ready for the new one. Okay, to get started here, the kit I got came with a pretty big instruction package. It's trying to sell you all kinds of stuff, decal sets, special axles and wheels, and some sort of where was it? Micro polishing system for the wheels, and a wheel turning mandrel. Oh my gosh, people are taking this to extremes, which might explain why I lost every race in my Pinewood Derby career. I didn't know about weights. I showed up at the race, didn't know about the lubricants either. Showed up at the race with just my Pinewood. I thought, well, this is going to be great. It's nice and light. It'll go fast. Light's good, right, when you got a race car. With Pinewood, you want it to weigh the maximum weight, which is 5 ounces. So this is the kit I got. This came from the hobby shop. It's just called Pinecar, not Pinewood Derby. So it's not technically probably licensed by BSA, although it says BSA compliant. This one's actually the Pinewood Derby. This one is the one that the Scouts gave to our kit. The troop is kind. They give the kits out to the kids at Christmas time. So this is apparently an official race kit. This comes with wheels and nails and this neat little instructions. So one side's in English, one side's in Spanish. But there's a big difference in the amount of instruction the BSA gives you and the one the hobby shop gives you. Hobby shop's trying to sell you a lot of stuff. You go in the hobby shop, they've got exhaust pipes, they've got little drivers, they've got windscreens and decal kits. Boy Scouts of America really wants you to build it yourself and create your own. So difference there between the hobby shop. Also, kind of a difference too. The BSA wheels are kind of like a wire style wheel, whereas the one from the hobby shop is more like a mag wheel. That's pretty cool. I'm kind of digging that. I might have to fight the kid over the wire wheels because I kind of want the wire wheels on mine. But anyway, so they took the time to write these, so I went ahead and read through them. Not a whole lot of earth-shattering stuff other than your basic specs, which you can find when you buy your own kit. So let's get started. Okay, so I got the basic layout of the shape. So I got the cockpit drawn on the side. I've got the swage line where the rounded part's going to stop. This down here is going to be a simulated frame. And if you look at the front of it, you kind of see where I'm going to cut away. So I marked the center line. I use the tire as a template for the rounded part. I'm going to cut away the non-rounded part. Same thing on the back. So right now I'm just going to cut this as, I think I'm going to cut it just the shape of the tube using the coping saw, kind of the rounded shape, cut into it all the way across. And that's going to cut it down here. And then we're going to cut into that. Maybe I'll cut that first. I'm not sure yet. And then that'll fall away. And then we'll cut in the cockpit. This will be pretty straightforward, I think. Hoping this works out the way I see it in my mind. This will be nice and rounded here, and we'll make a little cut-out cockpit, maybe for a little driver there. Fun. So I got the car and the vise, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut straight down, cut these sides out first, and then do the coping saw on the rounded part. I'm going to use a miter saw instead of a coping saw to make a little faster cut out of this. Okay, so the sides are cut. Just cut 2 little strips off. That'll make this rounded piece. Might cut this out first. We'll see. Okay, so I made some progress on this yesterday. Sorry I didn't videotape all of this, but I'll kind of talk you through what I did. So on the nose, I just took the coping saw and cut off the corner of it, and then I used this file. So it's a metal file, not a wood file, but if it was a wood file, maybe took off more material and work a little faster. But I just rounded it around until, just kind of worked this around until I kind of got the shape. Took off a little at a time. I think that looks pretty good. This pencil line is kind of obscuring the shape, but this is really nice right now. And then the coping saw cut out the cockpit area. And then on the tail section, again, took off the corners to kind of create this rounded shape with the file. And then I took the coping saw and just took little chunks. It started here, took a little chunk, another little chunk off both sides, and then just worked the file around, just kind of moving it around the shape and down the side until we got this kind of nice little boat tail form. So I'm thinking that's turning out pretty good. Of course, the idea is to mimic my Cyclekart number 7. Let's see, there's a better picture of it there. And of course the actual cart sitting over here is partially taken apart because we're rebuilding the chassis, but you can kind of get an idea of what we're going for in the tail section. At any rate, we'll do a little bit more work on it here in a bit, and work on the Cyclekart at the same time. Got about a month until the actual Pinewood Derby, so the kid's got some work to do. This is the front of his cart, or his Pinewood, so he's doing a mono wasp. It's turning out pretty good, so we're going to get him out here in a little while and do some cutting on that. Okay, so we're back out in the garage today working on the Pinewood Derby. After sanding on this a little bit with some 220 paper, and I realized I got a bunch of scuffs and scratches, so to kind of fill all those little voids, I'm using Bondo particle glazing and spot putty. It's designed for filling pinholes, scratches, minor dings, and hairline cracks on metal, wood, fiberglass. So I was going to buy some wood putty, which I guess you could use also, but I just kind of went around the whole body with this stuff to kind of fill in the voids and stuff, and then sanded it down with 220. And now I think we're ready for paint. This one's more of a beauty contest. I'm not really building either one of these really. My son's not really caring about speed. He's just more building it to make it look cool. I watched some videos on these things, and most guys just make these into a wedge and then put a bunch of weight in it to make it fast. But we're doing this more of a design idea to kind of show you what can be done to make them look cool. In my case, make it look like a Cyclekart or a Grand Prix race car. So what we're going to do is, the guy at the hobby shop suggested a couple different things, and one of them was, if I understood him correctly, to spray this with some clear spray paint first. So spray the bare wood first to basically seal it. Otherwise, you have to use a wood sealer. So we're going to try that, see how that technique works, and then we're going to paint it gloss red. This is Rust-Oleum Sunset Red. So mine's going to be bright red, my kid's going to be silver, but we're focusing on this red one for now. So let's get some clear coat on there and see how it goes. Should probably paint about 10 dozen of these with one can of clear. It's not taking much paint or clear coat at all, so we'll let this dry up a little bit, set, and then we'll hit it with some paint. See how she goes. Okay, so I hit that with a clear coat. It's dried now. This is going to work pretty good. So this is just stuff I got a True Value. Probably Ace Hardware might have it as well. So let's see what the red paint does for us. A few coats of that might be pretty good. We'll see. Doing this while holding the phone is not the easiest thing, so I'm going to kid hold the phone. Let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Nice and shiny. We'll let that dry a bit, and we'll put another coat on a little bit, see how she looks. Cool. Okay, so today I decided to start working on the axle. I put the drill in the vise. I got an axle in here. I've already polished all these with some sandpaper, but just to kind of show you what we're doing, we're just pressing the button, spinning it, and then as it spins, because I don't have 3 hands to hold the camera, running some sandpaper along the shaft. Now, on the ones I got from the hobby shop, the kits we got from the hobby shop, there wasn't little burrs, but surprisingly, the ones that came from Boy Scouts, this one, had little burrs kind of on the back side of the nails, right up against the head. So anyway, I used a file to grind those off and then polish them. Then we put the wheel on here. They sell a little tool like for $5 at the hobby shop, but this works almost as good. They clamps this in place and I just kind of shove it in there. And then we sanded the wheel a little bit to just true it up because they were a little bit out of round. I mean, they weren't perfect. So this is really nice and flat and smooth now. There's some tricks I saw on the internet to do this, to polish the axles, polish the wheels. And then another trick was to bend the nails. I'm not sure if I want to bend the nails or not. The purpose of that is to get the wheel to run against here instead of bouncing around toward the body when it's mounted on the car. So kind of show you what the cars are. We got those painted. They're over here kind of sitting in the sun. These turned out pretty good. Sorry. There's the red car, and then the silver car, the Mono Wasp. Put some detail in it and painted the, kind of turn them around. Painted the front, gave them a little grill. And our nieces were over the other day, and these are upside down right now. But actually, it might be dry enough. That's Space Car, and then Savannah's. So they're going to decorate these and have some fun with them. So I guess it's about time we put wheels on these. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and bend the nails. You can see those little blue marks on here. I marked them before I bent them. I just put them in the vise. One little tap with a hammer, put a little angle in them. And I don't know if you can see or not, but the wheels are a little bit of an angle. What that does, it gets the wheel to ride against the nail instead of against the body. Help it go down the road a little smoother. I just did a little test run on the ground. It seemed to go pretty good. I'll show you what that looks like real quick. And you'll see that the wheels don't touch the body. So I'm just going to give it a little push here, just on the level concrete floor. It turns a little bit, and that's actually not a bad thing. And that can be adjusted a little bit with this one tire is kind of up off the ground. You'll notice this one doesn't touch the ground. They're saying that that's a better way to do it. Less friction that way. We can actually adjust it a little bit by twisting the axle. Twisting the axle, and that will make it right against the rail. I'm not really concerned too much about that. It's just one of those tricks that people talk about. So I think we'll call it the end of this video. This is a Cyclekart Pinewood Derby edition. Have a great day, folks, and thanks for watching.